And good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of the post game show. I'm your host, Ralph Williams. Today, I have two guests with me, and BUBBA Brewer from the Three Bs podcast, and also from our Wrestle Talk show on Blog Talk Radio every Thursday. This Thursday, once again, we have to change the time. It's
That's
eight
okay.
thirty again this week, and 830 347 205 9631. And also JT Toth, who's been on the External Bum show with me. And we've done some stuff together. He's been on the radio show, Sports Corner, every Tuesday. Sports Corner Radio with myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM, 1230 on the AM dial. And we're on from 5 to 6 p.m. till the end of this year. Next year, starting January 2nd, the year in sports review. We go 4 to 6 the entire 2024 season. So we go 4 to 6 p.m., 2 hour shows starting in January. It's going to be great. Guests for 1 hour and open talk for the second hour. So it's going to be beautiful. And we're also going to be talking wrestling. And I just spoke to a wrestling promoter today, and we're meeting next week. We're going to have a meeting, and I'm getting some stuff on both shows, Bubba.
Nice.
So and
Nice.
JT. So I'm getting some wrestling guests on, big time guys. Not no offense to the independents, but no
None
slump.
taken. None taken.
Yeah, no slump. I don't have any problems with the independents. I'm just tired of, you know, uh, like you try to do, Bubba. We try to get some guys on, and they want to charge us. So
Right. Right.
But anyway, all right, guys. Steelers win 23-19. They squeezed out another victory in a one-score game. The offense looked good in the first half, and then looked hideous in the second half. I thought that they should have went for it on that fourth down and tried for a touchdown. Instead, Tomlin played conservative and went with the field goal. Uh, you know, Tomlin has got to start having more confidence in Kenny Pickett in the fourth quarter. When you do that 4th and 2, if you're going for it on fourth down, why not continue to do it and just keep doing it until they stop you? That's something Mike Tomlin doesn't do, or Matt Canada doesn't do as well. All right, we'll start with you, Bubba. What's your thoughts on this game?
Very lucky. Very lucky. I didn't think that I thought the Steelers were going to pass all day on this secondary of the Green
Yeah,
Bay Packers. I
yeah.
parlayed it on FanDuel, and I thought Kenny was going to throw for 300 yards. First time this year. I was wrong on that. I was wrong on the offense throwing the ball. But I'll take a win. Like you said, it's better to be lucky than good
Then
sometimes, Ralph.
good. That's right. It is, and that's the way it has been. JT, what's your thoughts?
I agree. We're totally lucky, but I also disagree with you, Ruff. I'm glad he kicked the field goal because Green Bay would have kicked a couple field goals down at the end and beat us. So going for that touchdown, if we didn't get it, they would have beat us by a field goal because they were inside our 20 two or three times at the end of the game and couldn't punch it in. Um, the offense looked the running game was good, over 200 yards. The passing game just does not look
No.
does not look like it's doing anything. I mean, Deontay Johnson dropped that one pass. The announcers didn't say he did, but the one where
He
he came
did.
back and the ball was it was literally in his hands. The defender
Yep.
never
Right.
touched it. Um, they don't really have any. They're using Connor Hayward a lot of tight end. They're not really using Washington. I don't get some of the things they're doing. I love Jalen Warren. I think Warren should get more carries. I've been saying that from the beginning of the season, even though Najee performed well as well today. But I still I like getting the ball in Jalen Warren's hands, whether it be screen passes or just getting him the ball. He makes things happen.
All right, we're sponsored nationally by Amped Up Sports, Sideline Sports, Let's Talk Sports, Mancini Media, the South Florida Tribune, also ASAP Sports, TGI Sports, and our new sponsor, CRSMmedia.com. And we're also sponsored by Draft412.com. JT, explain a little bit about Draft412.
We're all about the draft. If you get on there right now, you can basically, I would say the top 5 rounds of mock draft players are just about profiled on there. You can get on there. We have our profiles of all the players. We're starting to do basketball and hockey as well. And then baseball will be right around the corner once these players start playing in the fall games and that winter games and start off in February. But we're just a draft oriented. Everything's about the draft. So get on there if you want to follow the draft, and we got you covered.
I see the press conference. I see my man Ray Porter Jr. sitting in the front seat there at the press conference. He's from Urban Media. He's a friend of mine. His wife is our music minister at Eastminster Presbyterian Church. So I know Ray very well. And
Ray's a great guy. Ray's a great
yes,
guy.
he is Ray Porter Jr. Yes, I'm really close friends with him and his wife. Like I said, his wife is our music minister at our church. She just came back from Italy, by the way.
Yeah, we
From
do a lot of pit stuff together. He's just a great guy. He sits behind me at the pit games, and we do a lot of talking. So he's a good guy, real good guy.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is. I've been trying to get him on as well on a radio show, but sometimes
He's
schedules conflict.
busy, probably. He's probably busy.
Yeah, busy guy. So but anyway, guys, let's go into a couple things here. First, the First Line Consulting Services Studios, 1-877-926-6982. Call them today if you need a website put up. They will build you a website. They will manage it, market it, and they will upload all your videos. They have monthly rates. They also have a business package. So give them a call, 1-877-926-6982, First Line Consulting Services. Okay, Pickens had a few catches in this game, guys. No tackles from Ogunjobi and Hayward. They didn't have any tackles. I saw Benton in on a few, and that was it. The whole defensive line really, all they did was just do what they do. The linebackers did a lot of tackling today. Landon Roberts had a really good game. T.J. Watt, he was invisible in the second half, and but he had a good game in the first half.
They were holding them in that last fourth quarter. They were holding them all day long.
I know. They weren't calling a lot of penalties.
Not to mention, he was the reason that Riley had that pressure on the one. I mean, he may not put stats up sometimes, but he's doing a lot more behind the scenes than what he's on the box score.
Right. I like the cornerback fire today. They ran it a few times, and I like that. They need to continue to do that. So, and once again, Bubba's good buddy, Levi Wallace, got burned twice. More than twice.
Yeah, we're breaking bread here. Yeah, he's like three steps behind.
Gosh.
It's terrible.
It's worse and worse. Joey Porter had a reasonably good game except for a penalty, but that was it. Believe it or not, today, guys, the Steelers didn't have 100 yards and penalties like it did last week. That was the big thing last week. They had 100 yards and penalties. So, they at least cleaned that up a little bit. All right, Bubba, what was the keys to the game?
Just running the ball. But I was scared because they weren't covering, defense wasn't covering in the middle. I mean, our secondary is just bad with Fitzpatrick. Now, I don't know if you guys saw at the end there when they called that timeout. Did you see Minka tell Austin, and Austin just looked at him like, don't look at me like that. I'm the coach kind of thing. So Fitzpatrick might have saved the Steelers' victory when they called that timeout because he saw something that Austin didn't. So, and I'm not a big Austin fan either. No, I am definitely not a Matt Canada fan at all. So, but I did see that, the way he was looking.
JT, I think you'll agree with me on this. Terrell Austin stunk when he was the defensive coordinator in Detroit. He got fired. He was in college a few times. Believe it or not, he was a candidate for the Pitt head coaching job at least 3 times that I'm aware of over the course of many years. He was the candidate for the Pitt coaching job several times. He turned it down, and he took, NFL jobs, and now he's here in Pittsburgh. And I feel bad for the fact that we let Brian Flores go. We should have never did that. I think it was a waste having him here last year because we wasted his talent. He was sitting up in the press box. I think maybe there was a rift between him and Tomlin because Flores is the kind of guy. He was the head coach. He was the defensive coordinator. JT, what's your thoughts on this game?
I agree with him. That 41-yard pass on the last drive down the middle of the field was just, they had pressure on him. He threw a wobbler, and they still got 41 yards to Jaden Reed down the middle. I don't get how's that break open like that in that time of the game. About Flores, I think Flores had I think that was more, I don't think they had a fight as much as I think that it was a 1-year thing with Pittsburgh to try to get his revive his career a little bit in Pittsburgh. I don't think there was any big rift there. I agree with you about Austin. I think they could do better on the defensive end. They usually do put a lot of pressure on. I think he calls a good game like that. Watt had 7 tackles and a sack. And he, like I said, he makes a lot of things happen on that line. I think Hayward's still playing hurt. But the secondary, I mean, they were throwing names out there. They threw Thompson out there at the end.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Yeah, at the
I
end
mean,
there.
I mean,
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Riley is an undrafted safety, so they're hurting at the safety position. And we just did a thing on Draft 412 about what the Steelers may need next year. And I started the first article off with I just put running back and tackle just in case, because Najee, we have to make a decision on Najee by May
What about an
14th.
inside linebacker, JT? What about an inside linebacker and a
Oh,
center?
they're hurt
Well,
now. Kawan
Well, and now,
Alexander.
I mean,
got
yeah,
hurt
now
today.
that was a like I said on the one thing the announcer said that was right. The inside linebackers, we had a ton of depth, and now it's going down the hill because you lost
depleted.
Alexander, you lost Holcomb.
Yes.
The Steelers will probably go with a linebacker. Like if I had to be a betting man, someone said here's $1,000, you get to pick one college player right now. I'm going to take Jeremiah Trotter from Clemson because that's just the way the Steelers are. They'll take a guy like that as a linebacker. But getting back to the other thing, the secondary, you can tell how much Minka means, man. Minka is definitely, I mean, Minka and Watt by far the heart and soul. And Hayward, I mean, Hayward does what he does as a veteran, but you need Fitzpatrick back, or that secondary is going to be a mess against. I thought Love played really well, but can you imagine that secondary against Joe Burrow? I mean, if Burrow gets a chance to just light us up, which they lost today, by the way.
Yeah, they did. They lost to the Texans. I was just telling Bubba that before you came on.
And so did the Ravens. The Ravens lost too.
Did they lose that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. They were up by 1 point. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were up by 1 point.
Our division's very tight, so every game is a must game for us.
And we have the tiebreaker on everybody right now, so we're like the ones that are, you know, because we haven't lost a game in the division yet.
Well, Tuesday, I have a guy named AJ Curtis coming on from Amped Up Sports, and he covers both Cleveland and Cincinnati, and I'm going to have him come on. He's going to talk about both teams. And then I have a guy named Ed Nicola who handles high school scores for us. He's going to talk about the high school playoffs as well. But getting back to the post game here, I just saw Jalen Warren had 15 carries, 101 yards.
Nice.
And Najee Harris had 82 yards. So that's not bad for running today. I mean,
that's
really,
awesome.
No, they were over 200 yards. 200 yards, man.
Yeah.
Broderick Jones should be starting the rest of the season.
I think he will.
Definitely.
I think
that line looks a lot more coherent with him.
Yes, they do.
And once he gets to that left tackle and Dan Moore switches over to right, I think it's going to be that much more. I think Okorafor is going to be the odd man out at the end of the season.
Well, Okorafor, JT, you know, he just signed a contract, and I think the Steelers are going to have to if they can rid that contract, we could get a couple free agents in here for what they're paying Okorafor.
Well, Okorafor and Moore are both done at the end of the 24 season. They're both done at the end of 24, and so is the guard that we drafted traded for or signed.
Daniels.
That's Samalu.
Oh, okay.
Samalu. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we didn't draft him. He was.
I mean, we signed him as a free agent from Philly. But once you get these guys out, I mean, that's why I think the Steelers may just go after another tackle next year, just for the fact that why not get your two young guys now and let them play out together? Because I think
Salomalu's been a little bit of a disappointment. Nate Herbeck's been a waste. You know, they brought both of these guys in. I thought they were going to contribute. Nate Herbeck hasn't done anything.
That's because he can't. Maybe that's because he can't get in the lineup. A lot of these guys they signed, they can't get in the lineup. Like right. you know, the defensive tackle. You know, Brendan the guy from the Chargers. Like he's not even getting in the play.
Yeah. Oh, that Brandon. Yeah, I wanted him in the game. I wanted him to start from the beginning because he played for the Chargers. Hey, my man Armin Watts again had a couple tackles today. Yeah. Remember at the beginning of the year, Bubba, I said Armin Watts to make the team?
That was your man.
Yep. He had a couple tackles today, so there you are. So, and Keanu Benton had some tackles. He was in on some plays.
He got banged up. He got banged up there. He was looking hurt.
Overall, he's the best rookie so far. He's the rookie that's done the most. I mean, I think Porter has a chance, but Porter's gonna get called for penalties his whole career. That's just the way he plays. He's gonna get these little touchy-feely grabbing penalties. We got to live with them, though. I mean, he can stay with guys deep. He can do things, but he's going to always be a guy that,
he's a shutdown corner, something we haven't had in a long time. you know.
Yeah.
And Jerry
He ma-
Dulac from the Post-Gazette said we needed to get one, and we got it.
and he did make that tackle. He wrapped up.
Yeah,
That was a
Yeah, he
tackle.
did.
I'll take it.
yeah.
I'll take
Well,
it too.
Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host on Sports Corner, has been saying about how he's afraid to tackle. So, but he made some today, so I can't complain about it. Joey Porter Jr. Smoking Jim Frazier thinks we should trade him for a fifth-round pick in next year's draft.
Who, Porter?
Yeah,
No.
No,
yeah.
he's good.
Levi
He's here
Wallace.
for.
You get a fifth
And
for
he
Levi
keeps
Wallace. Jump on it.
and he keeps harping about why we didn't take Jordan Addison. If we would have took Jordan Addison this year, our passing game would have been better.
We can't get him the ball anyway. It doesn't matter who we
Yeah,
got as a
so it
receiver.
doesn't matter who we have as a receiver.
We could have Justin Jefferson and George Kittle out there, and we ain't not
Nope.
gonna complete more passes.
Yeah, and they actually threw one to Darnell Washington today. Did you see that?
That's two
He
games
actually
in a
caught
row.
a pass.
He caught one
Yeah.
last game too. So
Yeah.
I still don't know what
Anybody-
their infatuation with Hayward is. They love Connor Hayward, man. Love him.
Well, he's Cam's brother. You
I
got
guess.
to have the brotherly act there, JT. You know how it goes.
I'll take the 6'7" guy with big hands. I'll
Yeah,
take him all
Yeah.
day long.
but you got to have the brotherly act. We had the Watts, and what else do we have? We had the
Edmonds.
Davises, the Davis brothers. The 4C, the gravy of the Davis family. Yeah, we had them. We had the who else, Bubba? Who else did we have?
Terrell Edmonds and
Terrell Evans. Yeah,
that
and
running back.
his brother Trey.
Yeah.
Yeah, his brother Trey. So yeah, that was crazy.
we don't use our tight ends as much as we used to anyway. And if I was Pat Fryermuth, I'd be like, I'd want to be on the sidelines because I'm not going to get too many receptions. He was a stud for us, and he's hurt now, and it just doesn't make any sense the way these offenses running. And this game should have been not down to the wire as it was. The offense just can't get the first downs when they need them. They can't throw, and thank God for the running game, which actually came on today. Other than that, we are barely lucky to get out of that, the Asher Stadium with this victory, which I'm glad we did. But every game is down to the last second.
Well, I said it's better to be lucky than good, and they're not good. So, but they are lucky, and they've been getting lucky. That one penalty on Calvin Austin. Pass interference. I'd like to know how a block is a pass interference.
Well,
Somebody explain that to me, please.
Well, I was on
pass interference.
It was a pick. Yeah, you can't block. I was on another show before I came on here. It was a pick, and they're going to call that all the time, Ralph.
Yeah, it's illegal to block downfield when the ball's being thrown. That's just an illegal. That's illegal. I mean, you can't block until the ball was in the receiver's hands. That's
ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's definitely, they look for picks like that all the time. That's why when people run the cross patterns, and he could have got away with it if he'd have went in maybe like this, like trying to protect himself, but he gave him the shoulder, and once you give him the shoulder, that's
you're dead to rights. Yeah.
Sleep Pittsburgh 412-462-7858. Call them today if you need a mattress. I'm going to tell you what, they have some great prices on mattresses, futons, day beds, lift chairs, bunk beds. Call them today, 412-462-7858, 8th Avenue in Homestead. Also, sleeppittsburgh.com. You can place your order, and they also have no credit check financing. So call them again, that number, 412-462-7858. Check out their website, sleeppittsburgh.com, for the best sleep tonight. All right. Okay, guys, we'll go around again. JT, give us some more thoughts on the game here.
It's not what I expected. I actually thought the Steelers. I agree with what Bubba was saying. I thought this would be the week the Steelers broke out. I thought they'd win by.
Right.
I was thinking maybe a 10-point win, and Pickett would. I wasn't going to say 300 yards, but 250, 260. I thought not one. What was it? 122 or 126, whatever it was.
Pathetic.
I don't understand. They have talent on offense. They have Pickens. They got Johnson. You got guys you could throw the ball to. They just do not. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's.
I think they need to use Calvin Austin a little more, and I think Danny Smith needs to start getting creative on special teams. We need to start doing some onside kicks, fake punts. We need to start doing something here to score points. Otherwise,
I don't know.
We're not doing it.
I don't know about that because you miss out on an onside kick or something. We're playing these one-score games. I don't give
You
up.
don't
I don't
get you
give up.
don't you don't get the
But you
onside
got to
kick. You're
do something.
screwed.
You got to do something to score points, guys. I
Well,
mean,
no,
Just
I
get the
understand
first
that,
down.
but I mean,
yeah.
we're 6-3 playing the way we are. That's the one thing I want to beat in people's heads right now. That Tomlin this, Tomlin that,
Yeah, I
Tomlin
don't
this,
want to hear
Tomlin
it
that.
either, JT. I don't. I
But
call mediocre Mike, and I'm
nah,
going
but
to continue to do that
they're
until he
six
wins the
and
Super Bowl.
they're
And
six
I
and they're
said,
6-3 with what they got, and that's no other
okay,
coach I think does this.
okay, guys, here's what I said. And and I said this on my radio show. If the Steelers go to Super Bowl this year, I will do my radio show naked.
I just think that they shoot themselves in the foot. If they get a first down, they're bad on third downs and they're not putting the ball down the field. That's the problem. I mean, and then they just Kenny, I don't know if Kenny's allowed to throw the ball. I don't know if he's scared. I just don't. That one run where he scrambled, that was his
Yeah.
best run of the game.
Yes.
I mean, it boggles my mind, this offense, like JT said, with all the talent that we have, and we are not using it. And I think it's the play calling of Canada. Even if he's down on the sidelines, it doesn't make a difference if he's on the field on the 50-yard line. It's just he gets conservative, and they get way conservative. This game should have been way better than, I mean, at least 13. I said, what did I say? 27-13 I gave on my show.
I said
It was bad.
24-14 this morning on Steel City Sports World's pre-snap show this morning.
I actually on our show the other night, I actually said the show with Candy running. I said 24-20. I said 24-20, but
Right.
as I said on your Eternal Bums, I changed my mind and I was like, you know what, this is the game that Pickett. This is the time the offense is going to explode, and they had the chance to. When you have 200 yards rushing, the passing game should be there. I mean, you know, you're opening up the pass game. I mean, 200 yards rushing, and you only get 122, whatever it was, passing. It's and some of the play calls, like you said, third down and 3, that one when we needed a first down, he threw that little swing pass to Jalen Warren, and like even the announcers
too
were
much think and dink, JT. They've been doing that for the last 5 years. They've been doing think and dink. Fickner was good for that.
I mean,
George
Pickens is the closest thing we've had to like a Randy Moss. Every once in a while, throw that 50-yard pass and go for the worst case scenario interference or an interception. It's a 50-yard interception. It's like a punt. Let's play that game. I mean, there's teams out there that do. Watch Minnesota. It's 3rd and 13. You know what they'll do? They'll send the Jefferson deep and throw one up, and then you have a 50% chance he's going to catch it or get interfered with. So why not do it? I don't understand why they don't take more chances down the field. And I agree with what you said, Ruff, about I don't know if we're overestimating what Calvin Austin can bring, but he does not do anything for this team right now. I know he's got speed.
No, he doesn't, and he can do more. Okay, but they don't put him in the right position. Remember in that preseason game, guys, when Kenny threw that pass down to him and he scored that touchdown? How come we're not seeing that now? Why are we not seeing that now? Okay, his speed. Instead, we're using him in these stupid gadgets, some of these gadget plays that don't work. And I mean, I was complimentary of them last week because they used a wildcat. I mean, like I said, they got to start doing something.
I don't see him. I don't see him being creative at all. I just see him just
today,
being.
Though, but I mean, last week he used the wildcat. Bubba.
Yeah, but I don't see Canada. I don't see this offense. It's barely getting. If it wasn't for T.J. Watt and some of these lucky plays on defense, we'd be 1 in whatever. It's just that we've been very, very lucky. And Matt Canada, I mean, it's so everybody knows it's coming. The plays are all the same, and I know it's execution, but be a little creative at least. Like today should have been a bigger game.
The offense is playing not to lose. They're playing not to lose. I mean, the offense plays not to lose. They don't play to win. They don't play to. No. They don't play to stick the. They have a 3-point lead, 4-point lead. They have a chance to go down and score a touchdown to put the game out of reach. They don't do it. They play not to.
You're right,
not to lose.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. I mean, they're gonna play a team like Cincinnati here coming up that has an offense that if we don't put them away, we're not gonna put them away. They're gonna. I mean, Burrow ain't.
We can't keep up.
It's going to be another San Francisco score. That's what's going to happen if we don't do something. You know what I mean?
It could be. I mean, we don't use our offense the way we should. I mean, it's definitely a Canada thing, but you got to know what's going on behind closed doors. Is Tomlin saying, "Hey, let's not play let's let's play like we have Trent Dilfer quarterback and not turn the ball over. And I mean, they have 9. What they say? We're plus 10 now, right? Because that was the interceptions the end made us. We're plus 10 overall, which has to be in the top 2 or 3 in the league.
Yeah,
And
we're
that's
plus
how they're
10 in
playing.
interceptions, JT, but we can't cover across the middle. You know, Patrick Peterson made a couple good plays today, including that block kick. I mean, you know, and
He made the
so
interception, but he didn't
yeah,
make a deflection. That ain't going to be picked off. He made a nice.
yeah,
He played good. I
yeah.
give him credit. I've been down on him for most part, but
So have I.
I have
Yeah,
two. I have
yeah,
two.
yeah.
we
Yeah,
all
but one league.
expected him to be Joe Hayden. We thought we was like the reincarnation of Joe Hayden, you know, but it didn't happen.
Yeah,
So.
No,
yeah, absolutely.
not for 14 million anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Some college news, real quick. Texas A&M today fired Jimbo Fisher.
$77 million he gets. Man.
Yeah, and get this too. He just beat Mississippi State yesterday. What was it, 51-14 or something like that, or 24 or something like that? And they fired him.
Wow.
6-4, and they fired him. So, and then Penn State fired their offensive coordinator today too.
That's James Franklin.
They should fire their head coach.
I know that's James Franklin. That's all that is James Franklin putting the blame over here because
the blame over there.
He
Yeah,
can't beat nobody.
Yeah.
And his play.
Oh, he can't beat Michigan, JT, and he can't beat Ohio State.
His
Yeah.
game management yesterday was terrible. That
Terrible.
14-9 going into half, and then not kicking the extra point to make it 14-10 was ludicrous. It was ludicrous.
Yeah, he tried to go for that 2-point conversion, and he had to eat it. So
third quarter, they couldn't drive. They could have at least scored something. They couldn't do anything in the third quarter at all.
No.
I'm gonna tell you guys an interesting story. Back in 1996, I was driving a cab. Johnny Majors was back here for a second stint as Pitt head coach. They were playing Ohio State. Game was sold out. I was taking some Ohio State people to the game in my cab, and the guy said, "You know something about John Cooper?" I said, "What's that?" He can't beat Michigan. So guess what, James Franklin? He can't beat Michigan, and that's why John Cooper got fired, because why? He couldn't beat Michigan. So there you go.
Franklin can't beat anybody.
Yeah,
in the big game.
He's one in 14 versus top 10, or one in
Top
maybe
10,
worse than that.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And the sad
But I'll
thing
tell
is
you-
he'll make fun of Narduzzi. Narduzzi's actually beat more top 10 teams in the in his time here. So
Hey, this kid was in divorce court, guys, and judge says to the kid, "Son, I can't make my mind up who I want you to live with, your mommy or your daddy." Kid says, "Your Honor, I don't want to live with either one of them. They beat me." Judge says, "Well, son, who do you want to live with?" He said, "The Pitt Panther football team. They don't beat anybody."
I don't think I think it sounds better when you say Penn State football, honestly.
No, or the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah,
the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Under Narduzzi, Pitt beat Clemson, and Clemson had what, a 20 some game home win streak, and they were number.
He's beat better ranked teams than Franklin. Franklin's just living off
Franklin can't. Yeah, he's living off the Penn State hype, and he's not. What do you guys think? You think Michigan State's going to hire Urban Meyer? Who do you think will hire him?
I don't think Urban Meyer gets another job.
I don't think
if he does, it's insanity.
They're not going to hire him.
It
is. He should not get another.
He'll coach 2 years, have a bad year, and then they'll say, "Oh, I'm going to quit. I got family problems. I got to help these people."
I actually think if you had to ask me who had a better chance of getting hired, I think Narduzzi still. It's just real funny how he had all them rumors came out, and he hasn't won a game since then at Pitt, and he seems disinterested. He's made some weird comments. I would not be shocked if Pat Narduzzi somehow gets back into that talk at Michigan State.
In that conversation, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was rated in the top 5 there, JT. He was rated number 1 in 2 top 5s of coaches that they were looking at. And then all of a sudden he started losing all these games. His name's not even there now.
And he's been saying stuff too, that like the Boo City thing, and then every time everybody asks him about the quarterback, he says ask Signetti, which Signetti shouldn't be there either. I mean,
no, he's not like his dad. He's not like his dad, that's for sure.
Pittsburgh sports right now is pathetic offensively. I mean, Penn State fired their offensive coordinator. Canada and Signetti could be 2 of the worst offensive coordinators in football. And every time I watch a football game with Pittsburgh teams involved, when's the last time we saw like an explosive game from a Pittsburgh team? It's been a while, man.
Probably when Ben was trying to have the comeback against the Chargers in the second half.
That might be it.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Bubba, what's your final thoughts on this Steeler game today?
Well, The secondary could have played a lot better for Pittsburgh. I can't believe that Love got those touchdowns as he did, and we were just lucky. I'm glad the running game, I like that, but our passing is the worst. This is the worst passing probably I've seen in probably all my years as a fan. This passing offense is just horrible, and we have George Pickens. And if he doesn't get, he's not going to be a Steeler long if this keeps happening, and that's going to be sad because he is very, very talented. But I'll take the win.
I have a suggestion here. Let me ask you guys this: next year, if the Steelers were to bring in, and I don't want him to be an offensive coordinator because he's up in age. I would like them to bring in Mark Whipple to be an offensive assistant to help out with Kenny Pickett or to get the offense moving a little bit better, because he's a little up in age to be an offensive coordinator in this league, and unless he wants that kind of job, it would be perfect. Kenny Pickett's worked with him. His offense was explosive with Pitt. Narduzzi ran him out of town because he wanted to run the football all the time, and I think Mark Whipple coming in would be a good idea. Plus, he can work with Kenny Pickett on things that he's doing wrong that he could be doing right. I don't know what's going on with Mike Sullivan. He's supposed to be this big quarterbacks coach who coached Eli Manning, and he has, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either.
I'd have no problem with that. I mean, if Pickett and Whipple had a really good relationship,
yes, they did. At Pitt, yes, they did.
There's no reason not to bring a guy on like that just to keep,
just to be another voice in Kenny's ear, and then on top of that, he can enhance the offense a little bit.
He needs help.
Let's say, for instance, the Steelers get cheap, which they are. All right.
Oh, they've always been cheap.
Right. Well, let's say they decide to let Canada go and not renew his contract at the end of the year, which probably will happen. All right. And they decided to be cheap and bump up Glenn Thomas, the executive assistant on offense, came from Arizona State. He coached under Herm Edwards. Okay. He got in the middle of that crap down there. So anyway, if they make Glenn Thomas the offensive coordinator and then bring in Whipple as an offensive assistant to help that might, I don't know what kind of offense Glenn Thomas would run, but let's say, for instance, if they were to do that and then bring in Whipple, that wouldn't be a bad idea. They could save money. But again, we don't know what Glenn Thomas can do. He was the offensive coordinator at Arizona State under Herm Edwards.
I don't know, because I'm not very good at offensive coordinators, because I didn't like Bruce Arians because Ben was getting killed, but I would take Bruce Arians now in a heartbeat. So I don't know. I'm not very good with the Steelers offensive coordinators. I'm probably the wrong person to talk.
How about Byron Leftwich and have your cake and eat it too?
I would take you.
Haley. I'd take Todd Haley back.
I'd take Haley, yeah.
Haley back, or take or sign Byron Leftwich and have Mark Whipple come in.
I like the Leftwich rumors, and that's a guy that hasn't gotten a fair shot, and I can't believe that
he's still sitting out there.
Yeah, I think that would be a great, and he's an ex-quarterback, so I think he's an offensive coordinator who's an ex-quarterback who could really deal with some of the stuff that Pickett's going through. I've been a big Pickett guy from the beginning, but I'm not blaming. I'm starting to come a little bit closer with Pickett to Canada now, because I think Pickett has had some moments where he's had time in the pocket and just. I'm not seeing what I want to see.
Do you think
his eyes are not where they? His eyes should be on the whole field, JT, and his eyes are in one spot. Like, for instance, today he threw that pass to Jaylen Warren when he should have threw down the field. I'm not a big Charles Davis fan. Okay, all right, on CBS. I'm not a Charles Davis fan. All right, but he did make one good point, and that was, instead of looking around the whole field, he says, it looks like Kenny just looks at one. Oh, well, I'm going to throw the ball to Warren regardless of if anyone else is open downfield. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that was on that one play. He definitely
he has
did
to
that
stop doing that.
Well, he has a lot of time, and he should be a little quicker, a little quicker, and throwing, Pickens on the run, none of that stuff, no slants, nothing. I don't know.
He threw that one ball back shorter, and that play works every time. I don't know why they don't just abuse that until
it dies out.
Bubba's other buddy, Mason Cole, opened up some holes today. So
I like to see us draft a center.
You know what? I actually contemplated
that. We have
that
one, Spencer Anderson. Let's put him at center.
He plays. Spencer Anderson's no more than just a guy. 7th round pick that's going to play tackle for you, guard. a little bit of center. But I mean, that's what he's good for, depth. But I agree. We need like a Creed Humphrey. We need that next
Yeah.
center that's going to be there
We
for
had the
12,
chance,
10
we
years.
blew
15
it.
years.
We
Oh,
had
we
a
had a
couple
couple
guys
chances.
we could have drafted, and we blew it. We were
I mean, Mason
wasting our
Cole's here
time
too.
on
I
other
think
things.
I think Cole's here till 2025 or 2026. He's here a while too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
doing the stuff yesterday when I was going through the contracts. I was actually shocked that our tackles are gone after next season, and that's why I think, hey, why not go out and get there's that Darius Mims from Georgia, 6'7", built just like Broderick Jones. Bring him in now.
wow.
Let them
I
play.
wanted them to draft Cody Mock, and they
That's
they
a
didn't get
good.
a chance to take Cody Mock. I wanted them to take
He's another
Cody
guy
Mock.
that could start a
Yeah.
different couple. He could play center or guard in tackle. He's
Yeah.
another guy that can move around. So,
But do you sign JT? Did they sign Dan Moore just for some depth because they won't have any if they don't have him as a starter?
Oh yeah, yeah, they will. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
they definitely. I mean, I even said if you draft a rookie next year, Broderick Jones will be your starting left tackle going into next year. This other rookie could just basically hang out for a year and not have to put. You just let him grow into the spot, and then in 2 years from now,
Yeah.
you got two blue chip prospects at tackle, which we haven't had
Gotcha.
a good young offensive line like.
In a long time.
Yeah, because we got two guards that are older too, Daniels and Samala. We got to start getting younger on the line, or we're gonna.
Well, you know what? Dotson's not doing too bad down with the Rams, and
No, we missed
sometimes
out on him.
it seems to be to me that these players go elsewhere and do better.
But it never was like that before. When you left the
No.
Pittsburgh Steelers,
No,
you didn't play
yeah.
good. Now it's
No.
total role reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go down
exactly.
a list of the receivers that leave here. I used to laugh at it, like Mike Wallace didn't do nothing. Yancey Thigpen
Yeah.
never did none. But
No.
then lately, like Emmanuel Sanders had a nice career since he left here.
Yes, he did.
But you're right. There was always Steelers were so good at knowing when.
No. Yeah.
Like Kevin Green, boom, see you, Kevin Green. Then he played like another year and he was gone.
Yeah.
They're really
Yeah.
good at knowing when the guy's career is coming to.
But now it's not that way.
No, it's
And
not
now
that way.
they don't know what they have, and then when they leave, other teams do, and they fit the system. Like Kendrick Green, even though he got hurt, he was doing good down in Houston. Like
James Conner's putting up. I mean, when he plays and he's not
Yeah.
hurting, he's putting up good numbers with Arizona.
he was a Pro Bowler last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
I-
because he got he's doing better down in Arizona, and I don't know what they did today. I know Kyler Murray's back.
They're
Well-
on right. They're just started. I think they're a 4:00 game. They're playing up.
Well, and the thing to get back to the tackles, I loved it when Broderick Jones did that tackle pull in the
Yes.
first half. That was
Yes.
phenomenal.
They
I haven't
did
seen that in a
last week
long
too,
time.
Bubba. They did that too last week, and it's the first time this whole season or in a couple of years I've seen some pulling.
Yeah.
By the way, that's 2 weeks in a row we ran the ball really well. That can't just be.
It's by design now.
Yeah, but Broderick Jones is in there. It can't be just we're running the ball all of a sudden. I wonder why, but I mean Broderick Jones is a big guy that just.
Yes, he is.
And they were saying in last week's game he had one quarterback pressure he put up for the full game. So I mean he's a guy that plays. He's gonna be a really big part of this offense going
Mhm.
forward, and. I sort of like the way they're playing him at right tackle. Is on as much pressure on him, but I say as soon as you can, move him to left tackle and shift Dan Moore back over and to see what you got. Because I mean, this team being 6-3 it's mind boggling. That's the 9th game in a row we got. It's the ninth game in a row we got gave up more yards than we did, and it's.
This is the first game, though, guys, all season that we scored 3 consecutive times.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's right. And they said Percy Harvin for the first time. I'm like, or Presley Harvin for the first time.
Well,
I was
you
like,
know
oh my
what? His
gosh.
punt wasn't bad today. He had over 50-yard punts. I think the one punt, the short one he did was like only 40 yards, but all his punts were over 50 yards today.
That last punt helped. That last punt
Yeah.
helped out, though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what he was
did.
known for in college. He could throw a football. I don't know if you remember that in
Well,
college.
I don't
He
know
was,
why. Again, that JT, that's what I keep saying. Why don't we have him doing something? Like
That's a
fake
once in a
punt.
lifetime.
You gotta-
That-
you gotta
that-
put the
that's
right-
once
you
a,
gotta-
that's a play. If we ever get in the playoffs, that would be
might
the
be the
time to do it right there, because you're gambling. You're just throwing all your money, house money, and you're just going all in, Ralph. That's what I would do. I would wait
You got
until
a
that
4th and 2,
opportune time.
and you set up a fake kick, and you can have him come up and throw a pass. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you gotta realize though when you're saying like onside kicks and fake punch, you're looking at what's the onside kick 18% or something. It's
not
your
high.
chances are not good, man. And you're
Yeah.
giving them the ball. You're giving them the ball at the 40-yard line, and we're a team that only wins by one score. You're basically saying, all right, now there's your one
But
score.
if Kenny could get his passing and get some more completions and open it up with George, just imagine with his and Dante catch balls when it's in his hands.
Yeah,
Just imagine.
Yeah.
And Fryermuth comes back. When's Fryermuth coming back?
Week 11 is the earliest. Week 11, that's next week. I said
next week.
He's eligible. He's eligible.
Then we bring him back and use him when he gets here, because 3 receptions for a touchdown and 7 yards just ain't cutting it for this. It's just not cutting it.
They gotta use it. Every good young quarterback in this league has a tight end. Like if you look at Brock Purdy has George Kittle, and he uses him.
Yeah. Jordan Love's got that Musgrave kid.
Trevor Lawrence has Evan Ingram.
Yes.
So,
we have them.
Teach Pickett. Teach Kenny Pickett that when Fryermuth comes back, that's your safety blanket. You have problems finding somebody. You got this big guy over the middle that he doesn't drop passes. They got to start pounding.
I can't wait till they get rid of that Williams kid. He's terrible, Rodney Williams.
Oh
87.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. Honestly, he shouldn't be on the field unless they do 3 tight end sets. But
terrible.
I just don't know what Washington's done that they don't like using him as a weapon. Because to me, that guy should be. If I'm first and 10 at the 18, guess what I'm doing?
Throwing
tight end over the
end
middle.
zone.
I throw him across the middle, and then JT, he's so big, throw it across the middle.
It's all Canada. It's all. I believe it's all Canada.
Yeah.
We have all these.
He's trying to shove a square peg into a round hole, guys.
We have all these weapons. We're outside looking in with everybody we got, and we're not even anywhere offensively where we should be. Hopefully, let's just say December, if we get the turns and the ball and the cart rolling down the street, do they keep Canada if we go into the playoffs and we win one playoff game?
They can't.
I hope not either.
I don't think
there's got to be somebody. There's got to be other people out there, and we're not.
I would not renew his contract. I'd hire Byron Leftwich, like I said, if it was me, and I'd bring in Mark Whipple, and that's it. Done.
I talked on this pre-show that we were doing during the Steeler game. Like the Steelers, all this conservative stuff, they feel like to me like it's in the 80s, but we had Stallworth and we had Louis Lips, and we could score points. Like this 2023 stuff, this offense is just it's old school, but it's so old school we're not getting any points.
So back in the Coward days, we used to win without a franchise quarterback. Coward didn't have a franchise quarterback till Ben got drafted.
We ran the whole second
we
half.
still won.
Remember the old days? The old days, we would get a 17-13 lead at halftime, and we
was running the ball
every single down.
We had defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I get it. Our defense has been really. They've made plays when they had to, but do you trust this secondary is going to be able to?
No.
I don't either.
No.
And it's only a matter of time before. TJ Watt busts his ass. He's going to
Neal,
eventually.
I like Joey Porter Jr. Patrick Peterson. I'm 50-50 on the rest of them. Forget it.
No, you like Minka. You like Minka.
And Minka. I like Minka, but Minka's not playing right now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should put
what we have right now.
Maybe they should put Patrick in a different position. Like
he is.
He's
in safety. He's playing safety right now.
Well,
they had him playing starting corner.
Patrick Peterson?
Yes, they got him playing safety or different positions.
Yeah, he's playing like a nickel back.
Yeah.
Well, that's Sullivan. I seen Sullivan out there. Maybe they should try him instead of Wallace, because Wallace he's 3 steps behind. He's just every touchdown that the offensive scored has been against Levi Wallace, and hopefully this is his last year.
Today were against Levi Wallace, and then he lost that long pass.
Well, I'm just glad we won today. That's all I know. I
honestly, I usually have a good feeling about Steeler games as it plays on. Like, we're going to do something. Today, I was like, I honestly, in my mind, could see Jordan Love making a pass and beating us towards the end of that game. I'm like, I wasn't
looking like that. When he threw awkward on that one play at the end of the game, when he threw real awkward, I didn't think I thought somebody was going to deflect the pass. The way he threw it, and somebody had him in their hands to sack him.
When it was
40 yards down the field.
That's what I'm saying.
We had a Packer guy on, and he wanted it role reversed when Mike Wallace caught that touchdown because he said he was at that game in Green Bay. He wanted the total role reverse, and he wanted Love to score with like 8 seconds to go. And I was like, oh my God, I can't be watching this. I had to turn my head. But I mean, it was just so lucky today. But I'm glad that our running game has. I like Najee Harris. I truly do. I like Najee, but he has to quit hurdling these guys. I think he's going to break a hip. But I do like him. That's the only thing. The only thing I don't like about him is he doesn't have to hurdle. Just maybe a little shoulder to get that extra yard. He don't have to hurdle 6 feet like he's in the Olympics because sooner or later he's going to get hurt.
I think him.
What
and
were you
Connor
guys'
Hayward
thoughts of
must have a
McFarland coming back today? McFarland came back today. What was your thoughts on that?
McFarland's one of them guys that just never. He's just there. He never.
Another injury case.
He did really good in exhibition this year, and I thought maybe this guy could be a weapon, but he returned kicks for us.
They should have had Austin returning kicks.
Yeah, I'd rather have Austin.
Yeah.
I'm not a big McFarland fan. I thought when we first drafted him in the 3rd round, I thought it might have been a decent guy that could be a 3rd down back, maybe catch some passes. But I think Jalen Warren's the guy. I mean, I'd rather swing it to Jalen Warren.
Well, guess who the interim coach of Maryland was when we drafted him? Matt Canada. When we drafted McFarland.
There you go.
And at the time, Dino Tomlin was playing for Maryland before he transferred to Boston College.
Wow.
So we'll see Dino Tomlin on Saturday at Acrisure Stadium against
Thursday night. It's actually Thursday night.
Or Thursday night. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I bet you Tomlin was sweating there in that 4th quarter today. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah. But you know what, though? I give him credit on good clock management at the end when he called that timeout, ran that clock down, had the punt team stand on the sideline.
Because usually he doesn't.
Yeah. He doesn't do any of that. I got to give him credit for that today, and I normally don't give him credit for anything. Because
they showed a telltale sign. I hope all the Pittsburgh fans saw. He has 94 one-score victories in his coaching career, which I know it could be a bad thing too. It means in close games he does what he has to do. 94.
Oh yeah.
One-score wins is pretty impressive. I don't care.
Yeah, if it's a close game, more than likely Steelers are going to win. But it's so scary being a Steeler fan that you have to. Knowing like today, it shouldn't have come down to it today. Like I can see us, in a Ravens or a Cincinnati game or some other game like that where, our cheeks are puckered up a little bit because you know what I mean. But these games like this, and then even the debacle down in Houston, I'm still upset about that. But CJ Stroud
Bubba,
is
did I
quarterback.
call that? Did I call that on my Steelers special? I said we're going to lose one of those games to one of them new coaches, and I was right. We lost to Houston. And we still got to play Indy, and we still got to play Arizona, and they have new coaches. And I said one of them 3 games we're going to lose.
But we're at 6-3. Look, we get 10 victories. We're getting if we happen to split with Cincinnati and sweep Cleveland and beat the Ravens, we can beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
It'll be downright. It'll be a dogfight.
John Harbaugh always coaches stupid against.
It'll be a dogfight. But if we just lose one game in our division, we're into playoffs.
Yeah,
there's no doubt. I mean,
and then we go from there.
Our whole division's in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, we got the strongest. I think we have the strongest division in the NFL right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, thanks for being part of the program today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, JT. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and JT, I'll see you on Wednesday at the
we'll be
pub
Lucky
or
13,
bar 13 or whatever.
Lucky
Yeah,
13.
I'll be there. I'm going to be there early. I have a transit meeting at 5:30. And I'm going to be doing it on my tablet in my Jeep, and then I'll be. And then when the meeting's over at 7 or before 7, so
I'll see you Thursday then, Ralph. Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's big. Right, that's getting hot. Nice meeting you, JT.
It is getting hot. Guys. Yes, it is.
Thank you, Ralph.
You're welcome.
See you, Ralph.
JT.
Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you, Bubba. You guys have a great one. Thank you. That was Bubba Brewer and JT Toth from Draft 412. Bubba Brewer from the 3 Beast podcast and Wrestle Talk on Thursday nights with myself, Mark Mancini, and Smoking Jim Frazier. If you have any comments, put them up here. We're going to be here for a few because I got to pay a couple bills. P6 Auto Detailing in New Kensington. Call them today, 412-965-6578. That's 412-965-6578. Let the experienced professionals detail your car. P6 Auto Detailing. That number again, 412 965 6578. Are you a business that's struggling? Are you a business that's kind of, yeah, in between? Are you a business that's doing very well? No matter what kind of business you have, I'm sure you want more. If you want more business, okay, you need to call today, 412-545-4317. Sponsorship advertising, RW Media. Let me tell you something. These advertising rates are the most affordable you'll ever find. You call one of these other media companies and they're going to charge you an arm and a leg and 6 loans. Okay? I don't do that. All right? RW Media, and we have some great package deals for you. So call today, 412-545-4317. All right? Sponsorship advertising with RW Media. All right. Thanks, Michael. As always, for being a steady watcher, as well to all of the RW Media programs. All right, we'll be back next week, 1 o'clock game. We'll be back any 1 o'clock game. You'll see this post game show. All right. Next week we're in Cleveland, so I'm possibly going to have Smoke and Jim for away games that are at 1 o'clock. Bubba will be back, maybe Steve Spates. I always have different guests on for the post game show. That's what makes it an interesting show as well. And also, once in a while, we'll do a pit one. I should have done one yesterday, but I didn't. And, that's fine. All right. Anyway, but we're going to try to do some Penguin post game shows, some Pirates, and Pitt and Steelers. All right. Bon Journey is a tribute band that plays Bon Jovi and Journey songs. They will be playing November 18th at the 31 Bar in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. Head on down there, 8 o'clock start time. That's this Saturday, November 18th. They will be at the 31 Bar in Bridgeville. Bon Journey, the best in Bon Jovi and Journey songs. You want some good heating and air conditioning? Air conditioning in the summer, heating in the winter. Well, guess what? You ought to call Mata. Call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning today, 724-201-0500, and ask for Bill. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning has geothermal furnaces, radiant floors, humidifiers, service contracts, heat pumps, air conditioners, snow melt, air cleaners, and UV lighting. So get a hold of Mata Heating and Air Conditioning today, 724-201-0500. Ask for Bill. Tell me you heard it here on RW Media Programming. You ought to call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Are you handicapped like I am? Are you in a wheelchair like I am? Are you looking for something to fold up like I am? Okay. Well, I finally found it. It's called Fold and Travel Mobility. Check out foldandtravelmobility.com or give them a call today at 1-877-GOT-FOLD. Why? Because they have the best folding power chairs. They have professionals that have been doing this for a while that can get you to right into the best folding power chair for you. All right. You go to these events, you go to outdoor concerts, you go some places. You go to there's a certain place here in Pittsburgh or in the Western Pennsylvania area that has concerts, and it takes two. You have to go 2 miles just to get to your seat. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? So why rent a scooter or why rent a power chair or why worry about when you go to the store and you can't get one? You ever have that problem? I have. Okay. Well, those problems can go away if you call Fold and Travel Mobility today. 1-877-GOT-FOLD. All right. And also to foldandtravelmobility.com. They have professionals you can chat with. Pick the model you want. Fold and Travel Mobility. Don't be sad. Be glad. All right. Okay. I want to talk to you today about Hillcrest Farms in Richmond, Ohio. Hillcrest Farm in Richmond, Ohio has hay grain beef. And they have some great hay grain beef, and they have some great package deals as well. Hillcrest Farms in Richmond, Ohio. Richmond, Ohio is located right up the hill from Steubenville, Ohio. And it's 45 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania. Not bad. You could get there in about an hour, 45 minutes, even a half hour, depending on where you are in Western Pennsylvania. All right. You can contact them at 740-346-5442 or 740-632-2894. Email them at hillcrestfarmsohio@gmail.com for directions. because what they'll do is they'll give you specific directions to put into your GPS because there's a second Hillcrest Farm, and you don't want to end up there. You want to end up here. All right. Check out their website, www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com. They are shipping now. So what you can do is go on their website, find out all their package deals, and pick the one you want. And they have some good ones. Thanksgiving's coming up. Some people they don't exactly have one turkey for Thanksgiving. You might want to roast. How about a roast box? $200. You get 7 roasts and 30 pounds of ground beef for $200. The ground beef box is $95. You get 20 pounds of ground beef. And then they have a variety box, which is only $195. You get 4 pounds of burgers, 10 pounds of ground beef, 2 packs of filet mignon, 2 roasts, and 10 steaks. You know what? I've seen some of these steak places that go around in these little trucks, and they pop up a tent at one of these businesses, and they try to say that cheap meat. Well, don't do that. Call Hillcrest Farm today. The numbers again are 740-346-5442 or 740-632-2894. Some announcements. Don't forget tomorrow night, 7 o'clock p.m. live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter platforms here. Myself, Bill Canada, and the way we see it, we have a lot to talk about tomorrow, especially about Pittsburgh City Council and some of the nimwit stuff that they've been doing. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow, the election from Tuesday. Last Tuesday, we're going to talk about that as well. I'm speechless. I can't believe what I'm seeing, but that's beside the point. We'll talk about that tomorrow, 7 p.m. live right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, the way we see it with me, Ralph Williams, Bill Canada. Tuesday, Tuesday, the best day of the week for me. Sports Corner Radio, Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM, 12:30 a.m. live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page, YouTube channel, live on Beaver County Radio's website, and also on their app as well, and live on www.rwmedia.org. Okay, you can all you do is when you go on the website www.rwmedia.org, punch up live right into the Beaver County Radio emblem, and boom, you're on with Sports Corner every Tuesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. till the end of 2023. Then 2024, January 2nd, the year in sports review. I have a pile of guests that I have coming on. And then starting January 9th, we will have a 30-minute wrestling show from 5:30 to 6 p.m. I tell you what, that's going to be one great thing. Every single Tuesday, we will talk wrestling for a half an hour on Sports Corner starting January 9th, 2024. And also Wednesdays, some Wednesdays, 10:30 p.m. I'm on with Peter Blake and Mark Mancini. We have a show called, or a segment called Turnbuckle Talk, which is on the Sports Web show hosted by Peter Blake down in Tampa, Florida. Thursday night, this Thursday, we're on at 8:30 p.m. Wrestle Talk all across the nation. We had over 600 listeners, 600 this past Thursday, and we hope to have more. And if one person of the 600 calls one person, that's 1,200. That's 1,200 listeners, okay, for Wrestle Talk every single Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. This week we have to do an 8:30 start time due to scheduling conflicts. So we're going to be doing it at 8:30. Wrestle Talk 347-205-9631 is the number to call. Listen to the show. It's on Block Talk Radio. Lots to talk about WWE, WROH, NWA, Impact Wrestling, MLW. When there's news, we'll have it on Wrestle Talk as well. Top 10, all kinds of segments. Great time. It's me, Ralph Williams, Mark Mancini, Smoking Jim Frazier, and BUBBA BREWER. So there we are. The four of us. We call ourselves the Four Horsemen, and we are wrestling talk in the entire nation. Friday mornings, 11 a.m., the External Bum Podcast. Me, Ralph Williams, Scott Morganroth, Mark Mancini, and somebody from Giraffe412.com will always be on with us on the External Bum Podcast every Friday morning, 11 a.m. It's Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631, 10:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. Uh, Leo Haggerty is taking a little bit of a break from being on um, shows. So therefore, uh, I will be telling it like it is on my own, and that'll be every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. We talk 15 minutes of general topics, and then we talk sports for another 15 minutes, maybe a half hour, depending on what's going on, and what we have to talk about as well. All right, it's called Telling It Like It Is every Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. live, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter platforms. That is the RW Media schedule, and I want to thank you for being here today for the post-game show. Have yourself a great day. Thank you, Michael, for your comments, and thank you for watching, and thank you everyone else for watching. Until next week, after 20 minutes after next week's Steeler game, the post-game show. We'll see you next week. Be safe. Thank you.